What's going on, one and all, and welcome back to the Alpha Park. Yeah, we're back in Planet Coaster. Last episode, we kind of went over what happened down here. There really wasn't much built. This episode, we built a little bit more, I think. But I think I want to first recap a little bit over here. In last episode, I don't think we had these lights in. I just went ahead and put some lights down here just to brighten up these paths. I'm not sure if these were in. I think I did talk about these that were on the buildings, but the only other thing is that now I have employee paths down here to these doors and a big milkshake on top of the milkshake stand. Oh, and this little sign out front. Pretty cool. I love this little menu sign, and it works out so well. Also, we came up with a name for this roller coaster. We got a few recommendations. They were mostly good. But I think the one that has to win is the Jamafino. Yes, for some reason, the Jamafino roller coaster is, I think I love that name for a roller coaster. But that's pretty much covering this end of the park for now. This is a little bit different, if you'll remember. The Ferris wheel has been moved, and the reason I did this was because when you first walk into the park as a guest, let me grab someone who's just walking in, like, is anybody coming in? Yeah, here we go. Can I select one person, please? No, I keep clicking on the damn building. Okay, they're warping through the wall, but that's fine. Alright, so, this person, when the Ferris wheel was right here, all you could see was the Ferris wheel. I wanted them to, okay, that was a bad idea. Yeah, I wanted people to walk into this park and look down the main stretch and pretty much see rides in the skyline and not just a big Ferris wheel eclipsing the view. So that's why I moved it. I put it up on the hill. It also, I think, looks a little better from outside the park, standing a little taller on that hill. So that's the reason behind that. I've got a nice Planet Coaster sign, and in a perfect world, if we could edit this sign, it would say Alpha Park on it, but you know, we can't because it's an alpha. But there's a little bit of landscaping around here. We now have a Chief Beef stand, I guess. It's a beef stand. It's a burger shop. The Chief is in, and yeah, there's just signage. I kind of like this building. It's really simple. What the hell? Oh, the pirate is shooting confetti out. Sir, I do not have any janitors yet. Please stop making a mess. Anyway, back to Chief Beef here. Yeah, it's a pretty simple building, but I like this little canopy, archway, little pavilion type thing coming off of it. I like this design here. The stylization is really cool. So that kind of redeemed it from being very simple. And actually, speaking of this theming, you'll notice that I've done a lot of work with the, I guess, modern, I don't know what you would even call this theming. I think it's just like the generic paneling walls. We haven't gotten into any of the sandstone or the pirate stuff or any of that wooden stuff yet. I wanted to kind of keep all of this up front modern themed. I guess I'm just going to call it modern theming. I wanted to keep this modern theming because the entrance was. So as we move farther and farther into the park, I'm going to go ahead and start switching up the theming just a little bit. And probably put in some sort of pirate area, because, I mean, that's what everyone does in the alpha, because that's really the only theme we have. But, yeah, you'll notice a lot of modern theming up front, which I actually kind of like it. I do like it. It's kind of bland because there's not too much you can do with it just yet, but I don't know. The Ferris wheel's up here. We've ran the queue line up here. It winds around, once again, very hidden. So if there is a bigger line, no one's really going to see it from down here, which is part of the psychology of it all. I just noticed that this is floating. We should probably change that. Yeah, these lights, can I? There we go. Very cool. Anything else like that? Not really, no. Okay, so hopefully it'll become nighttime and I can show off the lighting around here just a little bit. But anyway, back to this queue. I've lined this with these red bushes. I think it looks good because this pinwheel is red. The star wheel, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just noticed that there's a sign for all of the flat rides in here, so that's really cool. We can put those over the queue ticket booths, I guess? Yeah, that's what they call them. This queue over here, I've put under a bunch of trees because I had a buddy point out that he went to Universal recently, and basically they do a really good job of focusing on putting everybody in the shade so you don't have to stand out in the sun. I really like that philosophy, so I'm going to try to implement that as much as possible. Also, the tree coverage just makes for a really, hidden queue area. He also said that there were pretty much drink stands after every ride because when you get in line, you're in there for a while, and after you get off, you want a refreshing drink. So that's something to look at, especially because we only have like 3 shops to put down at the moment. So that's something to think about for the future as we expand. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to talk about except for, in regards to this star wheel, except for this little exit. I had this path come down and connect back up, and it just looked like a path that people could walk up and go to different things, but it's not. It's really an exit path. So I've decided to put some sort of coverage over it just to make it kind of more of a thing, and we would put a no entry kind of thing, like a sign in here, if we had it. I don't think we really do. I've looked through the signs a little bit by now, so, and this is a white building because we don't have the option to paint stuff yet. So at nighttime it becomes red, which I really like. It's really cool with all these red lights around. So it kind of looks like a red building at night, which is really interesting. And yeah, the final, actually, this rock wall took me a minute, but I think it really looks cool. Before it was just a cliff, kind of looked like just barren like this. But I've gone ahead and I've added a bunch of rocks to it, so that's cool. I need to put some trees back in here, which I should probably do in a minute after I explain this. The Aeronauts, I guess. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. Aeronauts. But yeah, this is a flat ride. We needed to add something there. At first I wanted to put this big hammer swing in, but then I remembered what my philosophy of moving, or the reasoning why I moved the Ferris wheel was because it was in the way of the view. So I was like, wait, maybe I should put something flatter down over here. So I decided to put that down because a lot of these other things, the whirly rig, this is like a pirate themed ride, and the magic twirl is also kind of like what the hell is on top of this ride? It's like a evil mermaid woman with a mustache. So, yeah, or maybe she doesn't have a mustache. I don't know, that's what it looked like. But we'll get to that when we get into the pirate area of the park. So, yeah, I like how the queue path wraps around this. It's a very space-efficient way to get a lot of people in line for this ride, and it doesn't look like it takes up that much room. So it's a really cool idea. I like how these outer bushes are tall enough to kind of hide the people from the people walking on the main paths. Like, you wouldn't think that the line's very long for that, so you'd come over here and jump in and realize that it's like a 45-minute wait. But then when you get in these kind of smaller bushes, you can still kind of see the ride from the queue, which is, I think, a good philosophy to have when designing a park. You want people to jump in to the line, and then as they're in there waiting, you want them to be able to watch the ride to kind of take their mind off of how long of a wait they might be facing in a line. So that's kind of a philosophy that I'm running with. I've never studied like theme park philosophy or design or anything. I just kind of assume all of this. There's just a lot of cool philosophy things that go into, or psychological things, I guess, that go into designing a theme park. So I don't know. I've just kind of taken that from my observations at theme parks such as Cedar Point and all of the, thrill ride parks. I really love the parks that are focused on roller coasters and not so much like heavy theming, but that's just because I love roller coasters so much. Anyway, I'm gonna have to fill this area out with something. There's not much going on here. I'm not sure what to do there. Maybe like another little path and then some rocks or something. That's actually not a bad idea. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that right now. If I can get the paths to cooperate, that's the only issue here. So maybe we'll just wrap something around just like that. There we go. Perfect. Cool. So yeah, I'll probably put some rocks and some shrubbery or something in there. Probably not a sign because there's one right here, but anyway. Yeah. So where do we go from here? I've extended this path out, the main path, if I can get the camera to cooperate. Sometimes it pings off into space, which is kind of strange, but yeah, so the main path will go down that way. I like this, like, concurrent side path going on because we can basically draw the main path into, or draw a little path coming off of it to line up with this, and then we'll put most of our shops on this side path just to kind of keep the view open from the main path. So basically you're going to focus on the rides on the main path, and then if you're hungry, you'll stop off and get some food or drinks on the side paths. But yeah, it's gonna become nighttime here in a minute, so I can show off this lighting a little bit. But until it is nighttime, I'm gonna just kind of plop a couple trees down, just because I had to take some out. So I just want to kind of put them back here. I'm not sure I really wanted to put any trees down here. Maybe something small like this, just because I don't want to interfere with the lighting that goes onto this building. Yeah, lighting in this game so far, I really hope there's going to be more options. These little lights right here I've just discovered as a way to light up paths, and you'll see that in here with all of these. I could have probably hidden these better, but I don't know, I kind of came up with that idea after I put all these bushes down, and I really didn't want to have to go through and correct that. So let's actually, some of these are actually like clipping through the the fence. So I just kind of wanted to fix that while I kind of noticed and remembered that. But unfortunately, I have to bring these all back down to height. Not a big issue, but I think that should be most of them. No, there's a couple over here. It's kind of unfortunate that if you move something, it will reset the height, but I don't know. It might just be an alpha thing. I might have to report that as a bug, possibly. I'm not sure if that's a bug. I don't know. It'd just be kind of nice if it didn't do that. So that pirate is really going to town with that confetti gun. Why? Stop. I like how he's like 2 times as tall as anybody else. He's obviously on stilts. And he's got a big poofy thing that kind of floats around. Hope he doesn't hit his head on anything, but yeah, actually, let me speed up this game. Also, it's kind of weird that the O key on the keyboard speeds up the time and the P pauses it. I guess it kind of makes sense because pause, they wanted to put something right next to it to speed up the time. But I'm so used to games like this being, or I guess it was really started in The Sims with 1, 2, 3 as the time-changing thing. Okay, all of the lights are starting to kick on. I kind of like how they don't just all come on at once, too. I never really noticed that before. But wow, people are really going on to that flat ride. So yeah, this looks awesome. This really looks awesome. All these lights coming around here. This I've started over here with these lights, but I need to finish that. Obviously, I need to put like one more here and then through here. As I finish this area, I'm going to be able to light that path up a little bit more. But yeah, as I was saying, I wish there was more lighting options, and like a wider light would be nice as well. These up here I just kind of threw on just to give some areas over here a little bit more light. But then I discovered this, so I think I can probably do away with those. I'm not really a big fan of how they look, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. And then look at that. That building turns red at night. I think maybe I should pick one of these or duplicate this. I do like this simple little light design right here, because you can basically just duplicate them at ease and put them around. I wish they were a little shorter, but I think this was the shortest block I could get with the light on it. So I'm going to have to do some like rock work to kind of hide that kind of stuff. This one, it was my first attempt at lighting this up, so I don't know if it's really doing all that much over here. But yeah, you can see it looks like a red building from a distance. but it's not. It's white. So during the day it's white. It kind of color shifts at night, and that's that. So yeah, I guess I could wrap this one up. I'm not sure. Next episode, we'll probably end up putting some taller rides in. I'll probably do some sort of lifty ride that drops people. I think there's something like that. Probably put that in. Is it the sun flare? That's just a really tall, holy crap, that's a tall swing. Yeah, maybe we'll put that somewhere. Also, I noticed this over here, this kind of depression area. It kind of reminds me of a lake. And I'm not sure if we're going to get water effects or water terrain in the alpha, but I would love to make this little area into a pond or a lake. So I'm not sure if I'm going to build in it. I'm going to have to look into see if we are actually going to get water in the alpha. And if we aren't, we'll build on it. But if we are supposed to, I'll kind of keep it free of buildings. So, yeah, that's where we're going for the next episode. Guys, if you like this series so far, give me a thumbs up. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Let me know why you dislike this in the comments. And let me know any suggestions, anything that you want to see in particular in this game, or if you need anything further explained, let me know in the comments. And until next time, guys, I will see you back here in the Alpha Park. Stay tuned.